The timings of the transit were wrong after all that. To have come so far for a mistake.
You're too gloomy, James. We'll take other things back home. I'll have a huge collection of plants, and you'll have new charts and knowledge of the South Seas. How soon must we leave this paradise?
As soon as we can now, or else half the crew will try to desert and stay here.
I want you to make it quite clear to the people that they are going to lose their queen. I am going to sail away and take her with me if those runaways are not found by sunset.
You can't do that!
Sit down, sir, and let me run my ship!
Come on, lads. Ship's waiting. Don't make me shoot you.
A forgiving people, Mr. Gore. They cry that we are leaving. Perhaps they should have cried that we came.
Well, the joke seems to be on us, gentlemen. Our orders were to find and map and claim Mr. Dalrymple's great South Land. It does not appear to exist.
We've wasted time enough. Let's change course, Mr. Higgs. We know that New Zealand exists, and Terra Australis is somewhere to the west of that. Let's stop looking for myths and mirages. Let's chart the land there is. I claim this land in the name of His Majesty King George III.
Do you know where he is, Sir Edward?
We have no knowledge. No idea of where he could be. But be assured of one thing. Your husband is the finest seaman of my experience. He'll find his way home by the wind and the stars. For that's what a real sailor does.
We've struck the reef.
Yes, sir.
Crew up all sails, aloft and stow.
Crew up all sails aloft and stow!
Mr. Gore, check the hull for damage. Check the water in the bilges.
Aye, aye, sir.
Bosun,
Mr. Clark, come with me.
I want you to sound all round and prepare the anchor for heaving her off. Do it, man.
Aye, aye, sir. She's moving, sir!
Why didn't Surgeon Monkhouse come?
The surgeon is dead.
Monkhouse?
He was the first to die. Charles Green is dead and 7 of the crew. Dear God, there'll be more. This place is a cesspit of disease.
Who is it?
The boy, sir. Young Nick.
Most amazing voyage, you will agree. It is my duty and great pleasure to welcome the surviving heroes of this astonishing adventure. Mr. Joseph Banks and his assistant, Dr. Soliday.
I accuse James Cook. The man is negligent. He lost half his crew, brought back a ruined ship, and failed to find what we all know to be there because he did not bother to look. I say he should be censured and dismissed.
His Majesty King George III and Mr. Joseph Banks.
We are delighted to commend our friend Mr. Banks, recently returned from his amazing voyage. He touched on many undiscovered islands, brought us back over 1,000 species of plants, and encircled the globe.
Your Majesty is too kind.
Credit where it is due, Banks. We wish it known, England is proud of him. He will shortly embark on a new voyage, and on this, we are reliably informed, he will command 2 ships.
His Majesty declares that Banks will have 2 ships. The newspapers trumpet he will command the fleet and sail with men-at-arms to colonize the South Seas. Is there no end to this madness?
I thought Banks considered you his friend.
I like him, but I don't care for this situation, which becomes more absurd and more unfair to Cook every day.
It does indeed.
I know what happens at the Admiralty is no longer my concern. But Lord Sandwich is not a fool. How could he tolerate this flood of rumors?
Sandwich? Our new First Lord and his mistress are frequent visitors at Joseph Banks' townhouse in New Burlington Street, quite apart from their adjoining estates in Lincolnshire.
Then I fear I've wasted my journey and your time.
I shall do my best. Depend on it.
Thank you. Someone has to. But we both know that Cook has been shabbily treated. Very shabbily indeed.
Whoa.
My promotion has been gazetted.
To captain?
No. To commander.
Commander? But that's hardly a promotion at all. That's almost an insult. James, it's not what you expected.
No, it isn't. Promoted to commander. And required to attend their lordship's pleasure. Immediately.
Commander James Cook.
James!
You know Captain Palliser of the Navy Board?
Oh, indeed, my lord. Quebec and Newfoundland.
He was ship's master under my command.
Sit down, please. We're considering a new voyage to the South Seas. The Royal Society desires it. The Secretary of State has granted funds. It's imperative that this country lay claim to new territories. And there is still to be resolved the question of Dalrymple's great South Continent.
My lord, I doubt it exists.
That it doesn't has yet to be proved to my satisfaction. Banks still believes it a possibility that somehow you missed it. Dalrymple claims you didn't bother to look. Insists you sailed right past it.
Then your lordship must decide whether you believe Mr. Dalrymple and his London club or me.
There is a weighty body of scientific opinion against you, Cook.
With respect, sir, most of them couldn't find their way out of the Thames estuary.
Then I take it, if we offered you command, you would be inflexible about a renewed search for the Southland.
If you offered me command, I would map the entire hemisphere, from the tropics to the polar regions. Whatever is in those waters, it would be my task to find it. I would sail by Africa and the Cape of Good Hope. Using the westerlies, I'd base here in Queen Charlotte's Sound, refurbish in Otaheite and the islands, and I would request 2 ships this time.
2, by God.
Well, that is, if you offered me command.
2 ships would be far safer.
What type of ships?
Whitby merchantmen, sir. Converted coal carriers like the Endeavour. She proved her worth, my lord.
There are 2 available, sir.
Don't rush the matter, Palliser. There's much to be decided. If, indeed, we offered you this, what about Joseph Banks?
My lord?
He is to go. He wishes it, so does the king, and so do I.
Well, Mr. Banks and I are firm friends. I'd welcome him.
Good.
Provided it is made clear that I have command. If that is to be so.
You may take it, Mr. Cook. It is to be so.
Welcome.
My congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
But not on your choice of ship.
I beg your pardon.
My dear James, I can't think what possessed you. Oh, this is quite unsuitable.
Mr. Banks, delighted to have you aboard HMS Resolution.
Well, you know Charlie Clark, our second lieutenant. He sails with us.
Well, it's to be seen if anyone sails. The vessel is not satisfactory. It simply will not do. Hopeless. But it's a coal barge. There is no room for my plants, for my work. No. Quite unfit for any gentleman to sail in.
Unfit?
Totally.
Well, no more than the Endeavour was unfit.
Which it was. Oh, perhaps not to your standards. But those of us used to better things found it cramped, unstable in a bad sea, and falling to bits on the way home. I have no intention of putting up with coal tub discomfort again.
I see.
Well, I sincerely hope you do. The vessel is not spacious enough, therefore must be changed.
Then you had best petition the Admiralty, because I intend to sail in this ship with HMS Adventure as escort.
You, sir, will do what your masters tell you. And I expect them to remind you that I am the whole purpose of this voyage. I finance and equip and choose the scientists and the artists and the naturalists. In all England, I am the only man to devote his time and fortune to such enterprises. I think you'll find that when I petition the Navy, you may not be sailing anywhere.
Lord Sandwich and Miss Ray.
Ah! Sweet Martha!
What a picture she looks, John.
I've had a very devil of a row today about you.
Oh? Enjoy the music. I'm taking them with me on my voyage.
Taking musicians to the South Sea?
Certainly. Now, my sweet, let me have a word with his lordship. You have the best-looking mistress in London.
Damned expensive. Bought her a bracelet that my wife found out, and I had to buy her one.
Now, tell me what row today about me.
Well, the Naval Board supports Cook.
Well, surely you support me.
Oh, very well, but nothing is that clear-cut.
My dear fellow, all I ask is your favor. As a friend and neighbor.
It's not that simple.
Oh, it's quite simple. I want a new ship. And if it's to be difficult, a new captain.
Lord and Lady Clark.
Ah. Samuel.
Johnny, look. This gorgeous creature is going to sail with Joseph as his cabin boy.
Valet.
What?
His valet. Isn't she wonderful? You can hardly tell the difference.
Oh, not while I keep my hair up.
Her name is Jane Burnett.
Aboard ship, I'll be Master Burnett. You think I'll make a good valet, Lord Sandwich?
You're going to sail with Banks?
His personal servant.
Good heavens.
Oh, of course I shall spend most of the time in his cabin.
I don't think you should tell me about this.
I must make this one more voyage. I must. There's so much left undone. So much still to be found and mapped.
One last voyage, James.
Yeah, I promise.
On Joseph Banks' terms?
No, that I won't accept. It must be on my terms, on my ship. Or it's best I don't go.
Commander Cook and I are friends. Let no one be in doubt of that. We could not have spent 3 years circumnavigating the globe if this were not so. But friends differ. I want a ship with space to it, with extra cabins and storage. An East Indiaman or a ship of the line, or even a frigate. Something worthy. And this time with a modicum of comfort. After all, I am prepared to hazard my fortune and devote my time to exploits that benefit this country. Now, in fairness, I should not be asked to do this aboard such an inadequate vessel.
Are there any questions?
Yes. Do you mean inadequate or uncomfortable?
I mean unsuitable, unfitting, unwise. Too small, too slow, too limited in every possible way.
Commander?
My lord, I know the arguments for faster ships, for larger ships, for East or West Indiamen. I know they're more spacious. They sail better. They even look better. But I cannot map new coasts unless you give me a strong ship with a shallow draft to sail in close. I cannot find new lands unless you give me a ship that will hold a year's stores and take the force of any wind known to man. Now, ships of this sort are colliers built in the north. There are no others. Let me remind you, we lagged behind the Dutch, the Spanish, and the French for years in ocean exploration. And you and I both know it was unfit ships, not unfit men, that was the cause of it.
Sir, I will not go to sea in that thing. I will not sail unless another ship is chosen, nor will my scientists, nor my artists. Nor will my £7,000 be available to equip this voyage.
My lord, no civilian can come here and threaten the Navy Board and the Sea Lords in this manner.
Quite. You're out of order, sir.
I suggest the whole proceedings are out of order.
Indeed.
And most irregular.
It's an attempt, my lord, to settle a difference of opinion.
Whose opinion? I prefer the opinion of our finest seamen in matters of the sea.
No one is doubting Commander Cook's worth, my lord.
This whole inquiry is doubting his worth. No, I shall take it to Parliament if this continues.
Here.
No cause for that. We're agreed. Cook's choice of vessel must stand.
Then these proceedings are a farce.
You, sir, have made them so.
Gentlemen, order. I'm sure this can be resolved. Commander?
Sir?
I would like to suggest a compromise. Mr. Banks? What if the resolution were altered and modified to suit your needs? Would you object, Commander?
No. Provided your lordship means reasonable modifications.
Would you reconsider it, Banks?
Alterations. Improvements in the accommodation. Well, that would seem a sensible solution. Thank you, my lord, for reminding us of the fine English art of compromise. Oh, I shall draw up plans and solve this minor contretemps. An adaptation of the vessel. Splendid. Well, then we both get what we want. Mr. Cook will have his shallow draft, and I shall rearrange the superstructure. The Ugly Duckling will become a handsome ship, a most elegant vessel. You'll see. I wish you would listen.
Joseph says you were very clever.
Oh, he was brilliant. The First Lord, upholding the fleet, standing by his own sailor, then superb. Gave me the initiative and won me the day.
My dear chap, reasonable modifications.
Oh, naturally.
Joseph has drawn the plans. He has a fine cabin with room for me.
I don't think I should know about Miss Burnett.
Quite right, Johnny, you shouldn't. We'll be very circumspect. The minx will wear bell-bottom trousers. This voyage will astound all of Europe. Oh, not for anything in the world would I miss it. See, there's our cabin there. I must have a window here for light, and the cabinets are along there, and I want the same on up.
Sir, they're going to tear up the deck.
Are they?
I've seen the plans. Up here is going to be a huge roundhouse with extra cabins. The rigging will have to be rearranged. It's ruining the ship. It'll cost a fortune and make us all look stupid.
Over here, that team.
Calm yourself, Charlie.
Each day, the journals print more stories about Mr. Banks' ship and Mr. Banks' voyage. If you can be calm about it, sir, I can't.
The French ambassador was entertained by Mr. Banks aboard his ship, Resolution, the vessel which will soon become famous for transporting him around the world. James, how can you put up with this and say nothing? How can you allow it? Why aren't you angry?
My lord, thou art angry enough for both of us.
Of course I'm angry. Your own terms, you said. Your own ship, or it's best you don't go, remember?
I remember.
Then how can you let him treat you like his tame navigator? Why don't you lose your temper?
Joseph!
Now, you see, this will give light and space above the main cabin. You see? With the structure up here, that will go all the way back from the main to the mess. Sir Henry, with windows on the side. I know it's hard to say about myself.
Is it always like this?
No, sir. Most days they have dancing.
Johnny, take that. I wanted you to see what can be done to a croup deck with a little imagination.
With you and the First Lord being here today, it's a bit quieter.
What I really love is a bus.
Gentry often bring wine and venison, picnic on board. I heard one lady say it's the best show in town.
He's making a fool out of you.
No, sir.
Damn it, don't contradict. I'm concerned for you.
I appreciate it, but...
But nothing. Banks is making you look an idiot.
I must ask you, Sir Edward, not to worry.
You worry me. All over London, the talk is of Banks. His ship, his new great voyage.
Well, what can I do? A man's ambition is limitless, and Lord Sandwich is a personal friend.
The whole thing is a scandal. The Navy is coming out of this very badly.
The Navy should never have replaced me with an opportunist like the Fourth Earl.
I'd remind you that modifications were agreed to. We can only wait.
For what?
For next week, Sir Edward. For a seagoing trials. Mr. Banks is selecting a party of friends to join the ship. His ship. If he's the talk of London now, wait until next week.
The hose is going. Pull it down. We've arrived, sir. That section, we're using that to close on the poop.
Joseph, about time.
Unavoidably detained. Very pressing business. Well, all present, ready to go aboard?
This fellow says no.
Who, Lieutenant Clark?
I'm sorry, sir. Change of plans.
Oh, nonsense. No, my party is to go aboard. They're to be my guests on HMS Resolution during the trials.
There won't be any trials, sir.
What?
They've been cancelled.
What do you mean cancelled?
Cancelled.
On whose order?
The captain, James Cook. Also on his instructions, all the new housing and decks are being removed.
I beg your pardon?
Everything is to be put back the way it was. That's the message I was asked to bring you.
Cook? He thinks he can do that?
Yes, sir. Not only can he do it, he has done it.
Yes, I'll see to you, Lieutenant. I don't care for your tone. As for Cook, he's insane. I shall have him replaced.
Good luck, sir.
Oh, but look here. I say, what's to happen to all of us?
If I were you, ladies and gentlemen, I'd go home.
What do you mean she won't sail?
She won't.
Well, who the devil are you?
He's the pilot.
I wouldn't take her down river, let alone out to sea. Never mind t'other end of the world.
What are you talking about?
She's useless. A floundering death trap. She's top heavy.
The extra superstructure, all those improvements of yours, weighed too much.
Top heavy?
The ship was overburdened, drawing too much water. To lighten her, we had to take out ballast.
Which, if you knew ships, compounded the problem. Made her even heavier up top. A crank. Totally unstable.
Hardly carry sail without capsizing.
Like I said, top heavy. First decent wind and she'd fall over.
What?
Fall over. She's the most unsafest ship I ever set foot on. In my years as a pilot, I seen some rubbish.
My officers have declared they'd go to sea with me in a grog tub. But not in this. Not the way she was.
You did this?
I beg your pardon?
You planned it. You allowed me to modify the ship knowing this would happen.
I don't recall you being of a mind to take advice from me. Or anyone.
You set out to humiliate me. Well, sir, we shall see who is humiliated.
Lord Sandwich says for you to enter, sir. He's expecting you.
Who is it?
You know what's been done to that ship.
I heard reports it was unseaworthy.
So much for compromise. I now request a more suitable ship, and I want Cook replaced.
My dear fellow.
I dislike the idea of spending 2 years at sea with him after this. If he has to sail, then it must be under my command.
My dear Joseph.
Or else, by God, I withdraw from the voyage. You can't allow that, Johnny. The whole of England is aware that I am to sail to the Antipodes. The Rother sail is quite capable of taking me. Now, it comes to this. Cook can be replaced. I can't.
I find myself in the most extraordinarily difficult situation.
Well, it can become quite simple. Dismiss him.
No.
Then advise him he sails under my orders.
No.
I assure you, my dear friend, I am quite determined. I will withdraw.
I think you must.
What?
Withdraw. Since you forced me to choose between you and James Cook, I choose Cook.
You can't mean it.
Of course I mean it. What, reject the finest sailor in the land? There would be uproar in Parliament. With great regret, I accept your offer not to go on the voyage. If I lose your friendship, it would be a pity. If I lose Cook, it could be a calamity. Good day to you.
Dismissed. To your quarters.
Stand by to cast off.
Aye, sir.
Ah, Lieutenant Furneaux. This is Mr. Reinhold Forster, botanist, his son George. Mr. Wales, astronomer.
Gentlemen,
Lieutenant Furneaux will captain our escort ship HMS Adventure.
I shall be astern of you, gentlemen. All the way, I trust.
Corporal Gibson.
Yes, sir. Your report got me promoted. You put in all the good bits and left out all the bad.
I hear you volunteered.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's good to have you aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Full sail ahead, Mr. Clark.
Full sail, Captain.
Course due south. Madeira, Cape Town, and after that? We shall see.
Yes, sir.
It's impossible, Mr.
I
Forster.
insist, or I shall most certainly complain.
What's the matter, Mr. Forster?
Reinhold Forster, if you don't mind.
What's the problem, Mr. Perry?
The gentleman doesn't like his cabin, sir.
It has insufficient fresh air. It is damp and moldy. I wish to acquire the sick bay instead.
Oh, I'm sorry. That request is refused.
I shall pay you.
Thank you.
I can afford it.
No.
And I will advise the Admiralty and King George on my return that you were rude and uncooperative.
You must most certainly do so.
Depend on it.
Remember Mr. Banks, young William?
Oh, yes, sir.
Typical man, irascible at times, selfish, domineering. But he had one redeeming feature. He had charm.
Oh, go into the bedroom, Minx. You're distracting me. I shall join you presently. Where was I?
To His Majesty King George III, your most esteemed highness.
I have, after due consideration, reluctantly decided not to sail with James Cook. I shall make another journey, less arduous. For Cook intends a voyage of daunting immensity, beyond where man has ever sailed. He is without doubt our greatest discoverer. No matter what rumor may have reached your ears, sire, I wish him well.
Eyes on support now!
Half a point to starboard, helmsman.
Strike all sail.
Strike all sail!
Watch, all away on close and butt line. Ready on those footmarks. Make the curtain gallants and top.
Any sign of the Adventure?
Lost sight of it, sir, a few minutes ago. Losing her, sir.
Drifting apart.
Shifted northeast, I think, sir.
Stand by, boatswain.
What's happening? Are you lost?
Get up the deck, please, Mr. Reinhold Forster. Fire a signal to HMS Adventure on your order, Lieutenant Cooper.
Aye, sir.
What the devil is going on?
We're trying to run the ship, mister. Get the hell off the quarterdeck.
said that?
One of my officers said it with my approval. Now, off the deck, sir, before you fall overboard.
How dare you?
I'll get pushed. Gentlemen, now then.
Sorry, sir. Fire signal, bosun. Aye, aye, sir. Number 3 gun. Fire!
We've lost them. So on top of everything else, we've lost the other ship.
Don't worry.
However can we find her in this?
We can't and shan't try.
And we are alone down here in this godforsaken frozen place.
Yes, sir. Alone.
No help if trouble strikes. Suppose we hit an iceberg.
I swear, sir, if you are not better company, I shall eat in my cabin.
Eat where you wish. I'm concerned for our safety. Where's the captain?
Resting. He's been on watch for 18 hours.
The ship struck. What hope would we have? What hope, Lieutenant?
Very little. Do excuse me.
We're here as botanists. Can we not do our work? Must you make us so disliked?
It's the truth that is like. Truth is we could be in danger. Our lives jeopardized by the man's recklessness.
Very slow drift, sir. South-southwest.
Have you taken soundings?
Still too deep, sir. We can't find bottom.
Fog seems to be lifting.
Yes, sir. It is.
You won't find Furneaux. He has my charts and his orders. We'll meet him in Queen Charlotte Sound 3 months from now.
What's the matter, sir?
It's a slight colic pain. It's nothing.
I'll call the surgeon.
It's nothing, Mr. Park. Let him sleep. I'll have him examine it tomorrow.
Look, she's alive! She's here!
Down all sails, Mr. Clark.
Bosun!
Scurvy. How many ill?
Only 4, sir, not many.
1 is too many. They must be forced, Mr. Furneaux, to take lemon juice, marmalade of carrot, sauerkraut, to eat the celery grass, fresh meat and fish. They require example and authority. Now, you see to it. And keep your ship clean. Now, why did you strip down the rigging?
Crew are tired, Captain. I hope to winter here.
Well, you re-rigged the ship, sir, as fast as you were able. I sent some of my people to help you. There are no winter quarters on this voyage, Lieutenant. We are to sail east, out here, to try to prove to the world that Dalrymple's Southland does not exist. Then north to take on stores and repair the ship's winter. Mr. Furner, we have no time for winter.
Good. There's much improvement.
And I can stop taking that potion you prescribed for me.
No, sir.
Oh, God's teeth, Mr. Perry, what is it?
Never mind. It's doing you good.
Oh. Well, how many sick?
20, sir.
20. And how many have scurvy?
No, all of them, sir. And their cook is dead.
Yes, well, that may be a blessing. I told you what was to be done.
I tried, sir.
Not hard enough. You run a slack ship, Mr. Furneaux.
I resent that, sir.
Do you? Then enter it in your log, because I certainly shall.
I've done my best.
I'll be damned if you have! Had you obeyed orders and fed them ascorbic, there'd have been no need to signify help, no reason to change course. But you have left me little choice, Mr. Furneaux. The men will die unless we find land. No, Mr. Furneaux, you have not done your best at all.
Is your mother at home?
Ask her.
Tell her Joe Banks has come to make amends. Oh, I made a fool of myself. I'll never admit that outside this house, and I'll deny it if you ever quote me. Our disagreement seems so long ago now. Thank you. I miss him, Mom.
No more than I. I almost hoped you'd win. That he would not go. At least this is to be his last voyage, he promised me.
I know his plans for it. It will be the last great voyage anyone ever makes. After this, I doubt there'll be much to discover.
Then perhaps I shall have my husband to myself. Why did you come today?
I had this letter from him. Written a year ago, brought by trading ship from the Cape. I wanted to tell someone. Who better than you? I am grieved that circumstances created a coolness between us. I have too many obligations to you and too much regard for you to cease calling you friend. A generous letter, like the man. I would to God I could reply. I would, above all, that I was there with him.
Pena tute. Manawa ya oe ki tā rāmai tōnei whenua. Wai te au e hoar hei oe no tōnei nu nā maa hoi. Te whari popo atu nei au ya oe.
Ta pena tute. King Tu say welcome to Tahiti. And say you great friend of all Tahiti. Welcome.
My thanks and greetings to King Tu. And to you, Owa. And to all the chiefs. But, What of Queen Oberea? Is she dead?
Ani ona ya Purea. Purea? Oi Purea. Ere Purea te hei tinei.
I think so, as far as I can tell.
Wau te ari o
She's been
titi
deposed.
tāko i te ianei.
Disgusting.
Oh, what is, Mr. Reinhold Foster?
These people and your men's lewd behavior. Quite revolting. I really cannot tolerate any more of this immorality, this licentiousness. I'm amazed, Captain. You cannot control your men.
My men, sir, have been at sea a long time.
That's hardly an excuse for this excess. My son and I wish to return to the ship.
Very well. You must. Try to do so tactfully.
But...
Or try not to give offense to our hosts.
You astonish me, sir. Our hosts, as you call them, are ignorant savages. Come, George.
I am sorry, Captain. So am I.
Revolting, even the officers. Total lack of morale, consulting. I shall make a full report on my return. Give offense, indeed. It is they who offend me. George, come along. George?
So soon, Captain?
2 days, Mr. Ferner. The moment all our stores are aboard, you make your ship ready.
My men were benefiting greatly from the rest ashore, sir.
Yes, I dare say. If we overstay here, we risk next winter in the ice. 2 days, Mr. Ferner. See that your ship is ready.
Aye, sir.
Where did you get it?
I traded it for 3 shirt buttons. They say I was cheated.
And you wish to bring you wish to bring it back with us?
Certainly. I presume you have no objection?
No. Just I hope he won't yap all the way back to England.
Of course he won't. He's nervous, he settled down.
Queen Oberea, sir.
How did you find her?
I just kept asking round the villages. Well, like we thought, there was a rebellion. She was banished.
You tell the Queen that we're glad to see her. She may no longer be the Queen, but she is still our friend.
Sir. Ere oi, ite arihi, vahini, vahohu, ifrarihi, pau pau, noa, a oia, ia oe, mai tai, mano noa, toi, nuna a. Ite arihi, vahini, urea.
At least Ronald Foster complains a great deal less since he got his dog.
At what a cost, Mr. Wales, at what a cost.
Have the watch stand by to trim the gallant. Man the braces. Have someone secure those buntons.
Aye, sir.
Take a nice little bath so you're warm and cozy. That feel good?
No, nothing. No sign of them.
When the wind's favorable, sir, shall we search for them?
I don't think we'll find them. I cannot even guess which way he's gone. I'm inclined to think from now on, we're alone.
This morning, I found the stems of the leaves that succumbed to a white powder-like fungus. It's quite localized to this one species.
Mr. Banks?
My dear Lieutenant Gore.
Mr. Banks, I had your note.
Shall we walk? So, the Navy has posted you into semi-retirement on half pay.
Yes, sir.
I heard it, but I could scarcely believe it. You should be with James Cook.
Would that I were.
And why are you not? And why on half pay?
I'm American-born, sir.
So?
It's not easy being such in His Majesty's Navy in these troubled times.
Oh, it surely won't come to war. I know there are skirmishes, they refuse to pay their taxes, but not war.
Let us hope not. In the meantime, my career is inconvenienced.
That's unjust.
Commander Cook asked for me, and he was offered Lieutenant Furneaux. He wanted to argue the matter, but there'd already been much argument.
Mr. Gore, I have chartered a brig for a voyage to Iceland. Would you consider command?
I would be grateful, but...
No. I'll arrange it. Lord Sandwich owes me that much. The end of the month?
I thank you.
Perhaps it will compensate us for where we would both rather be.
Hey, Johnny, get the hand.
Lay that down here, Jack. I need the fork and chisel in that section.
You think HMS Adventure is lost, sir?
Truth, Charlie, if she's not some, gotta know where the devil she can be. I've no great respect for Furneaux as a seaman. But the arrangement was clear. To put in here, to Queen Charlotte Sound, as he did last time.
How many more weeks will we wait for him?
I can't wait any longer. Get ready to sail on tomorrow's tide.
Yes, sir.
I must head south to the polar regions again before the worst of winter. I trust you are safe and will find this message in the place we arranged. Proceed to England if you are able, and be kind enough to give word of my good health to my wife.
I'm shocked. I'm appalled to learn we are going into the polar regions again. And without an escort ship.
Sir, I cannot possibly hold a conversation with you unless that animal is removed.
Behave. He means no offense.
Nor do I. But either he goes or you go.
What? Why must you take us into the desolate place? There's nothing there. For botanists, nothing of value.
I have to remind you that the prime purpose of this voyage is not collecting plants. The laws of the Admiralty sent me to map as close to the South Pole as possible, and map I intend to. And your dog, sir, has just pissed on my fruit.
Charlie.
Yes, sir?
I think we've achieved our ambition. Not only to go further southward than anyone has before, but as far as it is possible to go. I think we've reached that place.
I think so, sir.
Give the order to veer the ship north.
Captain, you're ill.
Give the order, Mr. Clark!
Bosun, stand by to go about.
Aye, sir. Ready on braces for the gallant
Captain! Lieutenant Cooper!
Captain!
How is he?
He's worse.
William says he's close to dying.
Then do something! Damn you what? His whole system has broken down. I've no treatment. We've no fresh food, no meat, no poultry to give him. Well, salt rations will kill him, but without food he'll die. Don't tell me to do something!
Get that animal out. We must have quiet. Father.
Ain't no use. Must be the cold seas. Bait we're using.
What's to become of us if he dies?
Shut your mouth! He won't die. bloody well can't die.
He's bleeding internally.
What can you do?
Nothing. They haven't the instruments or the skill.
They're praying for him. This godless heathen crew are saying prayers.
I've said a few myself.
Surgeon?
There's still no change, Mr. Forster. Mr. Reinhold Forster, if you insist.
I want to help.
That's very kind of you, but there is nothing can be done.
No, I disagree. I studied science, remember? He must be fed broth. Unless he takes nourishment, he will die.
Sir, don't you think I know that? We have tried catching fish without success. I know what he needs, and I don't need to be told by you.
Please. I said I'm trying to help.
Where are we, Charlie?
About 4 days sail off Southwest Cape, sir.
Don't talk, eat.
What's the prevailing wind?
Southwesterly, sir.
Blast the wind! Another.
What a good nurse you are, Mr. Perry.
What's the matter?
It's tasty. I think I could eat some more.
He's kept down another meal. Another? That's 2 days now. And he ate some meat. He said he was hungry.
Thank you.
Looking well, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Feeling better, sir?
Oh, really? What's the cause, helmsman?
East by northeast, sir. 7 points.
Latitude 44 south, longitude 95 degrees 20 west. Barometers rising, sir.
Good. Good. I feel quite unnecessary.
I am glad it worked.
I believe I'm indebted to you. A broth I'm told you learned of as a science student.
Yes?
Yeah, it's amazing how well I feel. Mr. Perry gives you all the credit, but refuses to tell me the contents of this elixir.
It is of no account. Thick broth and fresh meat. That's what was essential to save you.
Mr. Reinhold Forster. Where's that dog of yours?
Your life was more important. Excuse me.
You said it was tasty, sir?
Ah, it was.
Jimmy, how are you? Yes.
Mama, Mr. Gore.
Mr. Gore,
Mrs. Cook.
I heard you were abroad. Come in.
Thank you.
You'll stay and have a meal with us, I hope.
I'd be pleased, madam.
Sit down.
Thank you.
And how was your voyage with Mr. Banks?
Oh, well, agreeable. Surprisingly so.
I'm glad.
I came today, ma'am,
Because there's news.
Of James?
In a manner of speaking. The escort ship, HMS Adventure, has come home.
Alone?
Yes, ma'am. She docked in Plymouth and the news was received in London yesterday.
But why alone? What happened?
It seems they lost contact. There was a storm.
But they had provision for this. A rendezvous arranged, James told me. He never wanted to sail those seas again, he said, without an escort ship.
Lieutenant Furneaux reports he went back to the rendezvous. Queen Charlotte Sound. The captain was gone.
Where?
South. Towards the ice. But the message he left to Furneaux said he was in good health. I was asked to convey that to you.
I wish to God the Navy had sent you to command the other vessel.
No more than I do, ma'am. I swear he'll never go to sea without me again.
That won't be possible. Or necessary. This is to be his last voyage. I have his word on that. And I intend, Mr. Gore, to hold him to it. I've had enough years alone.
Tell the captain I'm sick of the whole voyage. You realize this will be our third Christmas at sea? If I'd known, I would never have committed myself to this venture.
He's homesick, exhausted. He said it will soon be our third Christmas at sea.
Furneaux and the Adventure should be home by now.
Perhaps. That's in everyone's mind.
Have we done enough, Charlie? Have we done all they asked of us?
More.
January 1st, 1775. We have crossed from New Zealand to South America in our third and final sweep across this great ocean. I flatter myself that the intention of the voyage has in every respect been fully answered, and we have charted and explored all the southern hemisphere and everything that exists in it. It is time, at last, to think of home.
From the book of Ecclesiasticus, and they were the honor of their generation and the glory of the time. Let us therefore, with grateful praise and heartfelt thanks, give thanks to Almighty God.
"3 years and 18 days. I counted every one of them. Thank heavens I shall never have to do that again. Will I?
Well done, James.
Congratulations, James.
My lords, gentlemen, a most remarkable voyage has ended. James Cook has come home because he has mapped the world. There is almost nothing left to explore. He has charted the polar regions and all the islands that lie in the South Seas, has crossed the world from the Cape of Good Hope to Cape Horn, and onwards to Good Hope again, to complete his second circumnavigation of the Earth. There has never been such a journey of discovery before, nor can there ever be again.
A truly outstanding feat of navigation and exploration. Pity his successors. He has left them nothing to do except praise him. But we are here to note perhaps the most celebrated thing about James Cook's voyage. In all the 3 years and 18 days, he lost only one man through sickness, and that not through scurvy. It is with great pride that I have been asked to announce, for his work of astronomy, for his seamanship, and in particular for his elimination of the dread disease of scurvy, that James Cook has been elected a Fellow of the Royal Society. And he has been awarded the Copley Gold Medal, our highest honor.
We are most pleased to welcome you, and you, madam. Your voyages have given us renown, your journals and logs have given us great enjoyment. We trust they are to be published.
I intend so, Your Majesty.
What do you think of this war with the American colonies?
I only heard of it on my return, sire.
We are burnt in effigy in Boston. An outrage.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Will you take a fleet to sea and dispatch our enemies?
Oh, well,
With respect, Your Majesty.
Will he?
My husband has only just returned. From years abroad, sire. I believe he is to be granted honorable retirement.
Ah, true?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Pity.
A reward for many years of service, sire.
Even so, we trust that your retirement will not prove too tedious. Particularly as we are pleased to announce your promotion to post captain of our Royal Navy.
I am honored, sire.
Well deserved, madam.
And apart from my writing and my scientific activities, I manage Kew Gardens for His Majesty. It's a full life, James. And what's to become of you?
Oh, there's talk of a sinecure, a post at Greenwich, a position ashore.
Elizabeth will be pleased. I believe she's still the same outspoken Eliza.
Nothing will change that.
My friend, you have spent 6 of the past 7 years at sea. 2 great voyages. Now it's time to rest.
You make me sound like a veteran ship of the line. Beached after long service.
You have a lovely wife and 2 sons. It's time to think of them.
I do. I worry for Elizabeth's future. I've seen too many sailors' widows end in the almshouse.
Oh, nonsense. You've years to live. Besides, England would never allow it.
Oh, England has in times past. I need to secure her future.
Then live in honorable retirement. That's the future she wants for you.
Captain of the Royal Greenwich Hospital?
If you'll take it. It's not retirement.
Well, it's hardly active service.
James, we want you to be comfortable. Come, Let me show you the accommodation. Come on. A splendid suite of rooms. Your own entrance, and a fine view of the river.
Very fine.
Servants, light, fire, all provided. £200 a year salary, and a shilling and twopence a day table money.
More money than we've ever known, Sir Hugh.
Serving captain's full pay, ma'am. And light duties, James, while you prepare your journal of the voyage for publication.
I'm grateful. This rather grand apartment, the right to publish my papers and to receive the profits, why, no one could have been more kindly treated. I expect Eliza and I will find it a trifle awe-inspiring to live here. We're used to simpler fare.
Our cottage at Mile End is certainly cosier.
Live in Stepney by all means. But at least occupy the rooms, James. Edit your papers here. That is, if you accept the post of Captain of the Royal Hospital.
I accept.
Sir, blimey, it is. It bleeding is.
Well, it is indeed.
Oh, well, welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, Gibson. Pick a duty.
Yes, sir. Been some bleeding thieving.
Well, the old ship's looking a bit forlorn. When does she go in for a refit?
Well, it's talk, sir, any day. But the yards are busy fitting out vessels for the American war. And making fat profits, they are. You well, Captain?
Yes. Thank you.
No more of that stomach sickness? That nearly did you in.
Oh, nonsense. It's an exaggeration. I'd rather it wasn't mentioned.
Yes, sir.
I assure you, I've never felt better.
Oh, well, that's good. Any likelihood of you taking the ship out again?
No. Don't think so.
The gossip is we might go looking for the Northwest Passage.
Ah, yeah, it's possible.
You reckon it exists then, sir?
I don't know. I truly don't, Samuel. Sir Francis Drake dreamed of it, but he never found it. Hudson, Frobisher, the Spanish, the Russians, they've all searched.
Sea passage through the top of the Americas. Gateway to China.
I'm too old. I've a handsome retirement and a splendid view.
So you just come up all this way just to mosey around for old time's sake, eh?
That's right. That's precisely all it was. So don't you start any river talk.
Oh, no, sir, no. I'll tell him. No, you just come see if the old hulk was still afloat.
Well, you tell him that, Samuel. That's all it was.
I'm feeling particularly amorous
Didn't you know we all kiss like that in the country?
Come, my dear. It's time for you out.
Sir Rupert Warner.
Debbie, sir, we don't go shouting names all over the shop in this club.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Have you seen Lord Sandwich?
Sandwich, the fourth Earl? Oh, bound to be upstairs ploughing some dainty furrow. Sandwich is trickier than a monkey and more lecherous than a goat, eh? I thought you and Sandwich had a fallen out.
How long ago, Sir Rupert?
In London, they say Sandwich is so devious, he's the only man that can walk down both sides of a street at the same time. Get yourself a wench, Banks. There's plenty to go around. There's an orgy later.
Are we here? Oh, my sweet. Ah, welcome, Joseph, to the most exclusive club in England.
Well, now I know what half the Parliament does with their evenings.
We'll find you a choice morsel later on. I need to talk to you. I need your influence with Cook.
Why? Your own is considerable.
The King is insistent the Navy send 2 ships to search for the Northwest Passage.
Well, Cook has retired from the sea. What's it to do with him?
Damn it, you know he's the logical man to command.
I know he's tired. He's been ill. You can't ask him.
Of course I can't. I must not be seen to ask. It would be most unpopular in the Parliament. But you can ask.
No. I won't do it.
Confound it, Joseph.
No, he's done enough. Find another commander.
There isn't one to match him. It's not yet known, but £20,000 is voted as a prize for finding it.
A fine, handsome sum. But it's not right. Damn your schemes, Johnny. I won't help you.
Pity we're determined on that voyage, and I mean to have Cook command it.
Not with my connivance.
There are other ways.
Give Uncle Reginald a little kiss.
I can't tempt you to stay.
I'd rather not be beholden to you.
Longitude.
Yes, Papa. The science of the measurement of longitude, as devised by Mr. Charles Green and Captain James Cook. And all the other cadets looked at me when it was announced that that would be the lesson.
And what did you do?
Went red in the face, Mama. And then, after drill, we had a lesson on the Northwest Passage.
What about it?
We drew maps of where it was supposed to be.
Oh.
Can I show you, Father?
Your soup will get cold.
I have it with me, Mama.
Oh, let me see. That's very good, James. This is where it's supposed to be. But for 200 years, nearly 50 attempts have been made, and no one has yet found a way through.
That's why they've offered a reward of £20,000.
How much is £20,000?
It's more money than we'll ever see or need. Now finish your soup.
Charlie.
Captain.
Come in. Oh, I'm well looked after, Charlie.
I should hope so. And now that you command a hospital, I trust you've had a full medical examination.
Nonsense, I'm fit. I've had no more trouble. Commander Hospital, indeed. It's a far cry. No more wind and stars, Charlie. No rigging or the creak of wet timber. I watch the great ships of war going downriver to fight with the Americas. And I edit my papers. And my wife is content. I hear they're taking 2 vessels.
Yes, sir.
You'll command one of them.
Yes.
I'm delighted you got your own ship at last. Your 3rd voyage around the world, Charlie.
My first without you.
And a prize of £20,000 if you succeed.
A lot depends on who leads us. Lord Sandwich said it is not yet resolved who will take the expedition out.
Who else? For God's sake, who else is there?
Charles Clark himself, Lieutenant Furneaux, John Gore, bring Wallace back from America.
Don't talk nonsense.
They're all good men.
You know as well as I do, there is only one man.
I don't like it.
Why not?
Well, he gave his word to his wife. 2 long voyages, it's enough to ask of any man. He's no longer young. The strain of command...
You're determined to exhibit your conscience for us all to applaud it.
I care about him.
And I admire him. Which would he respond to, do you think? Your concern or my admiration? An ambitious man whose spirit cannot be contained in the entire southern hemisphere, put out to pasture in the confines of Greenwich Hospital. Which of us is his real friend, Palliser? You, who wants to leave him in his dull retreat? Or I, who hand him a last chance of glory?
Fine words, my lord. We both know the cook's exploits have adorned your term of office.
We both know. If the passage is there, Cook will find it. If not, he will bring his ship safe home. He has to command.
Then you'll offer it.
Nothing so obvious. I have my faults, I admit, but I do know how to handle men like James Cook.
Wait a minute.
Before we can go, how hard it is.
Don't you let them talk down to you.
We know, of course, that you're contentedly retired.
Oh.
2 long voyages is enough to ask of any man.
Indeed it is.
But what voyages?
Which is why, my dear Cook, I thought that over a friendly meal together, you could give us the benefit of your advice.
Oh, by all means.
We don't meet socially often enough, you and I, and the enjoyment of dining with you is an added inducement to seek your counsel. Now, if an expedition is prepared to go to search for the Northwest Passage, what plan would you recommend the voyage commander adopt? 2 ships?
Certainly 2 ships.
Your Whitby Cold Cats?
Of course. Yes, I'd insist. The Resolution needs a refit, but she would be suitable.
Good. Now the approach. By the Magellan Strait and Cape Horn?
No, sir. By the prevailing winds to the Cape of Good Hope, water and refit at Cape Town, winter base here no Tahiti or the Friendly Islands, giving 2 Arctic summers to search for the passage where it is most likely to be here. Well, forgive me, but that is what I would do.
Oh, on the contrary, what you would do is exactly what we want to hear, eh, Palliser?
Yes.
Agreed, Stevens?
Absolutely. The sailing strategy, it makes good sense.
It should. No one knows that ocean better than James.
I'd gladly advise whoever you choose to lead.
Which brings us to the heart of the matter. You may leave us. Now, just between the 4 of us, who would you select?
Who would I?
Yes, as leader.
Well, I imagine your lordship has someone in mind.
Charles Clark, perhaps.
What about Clark?
Fine sailor, splendid companion. I trust him with my life.
But does he have the dignity?
It's not a quality I associate with him, no. But,
Does Gore have it? Or Furneaux?
Not Furneaux, no, I wouldn't recommend him. But Gore...
Gore's an American, and we're at war with them. He could sail, but not lead.
Then who? Give me a name. Who has the stature and the judgment? You know the weight of duties that face a great commander. You know better than I can tell you that a commander lives alone amid 100 men with all their lives in his hands. He has to be a diplomat, an astronomer, a navigator. Who in the entire kingdom is there with these qualities? Except you, of course.
Are you, asking me to nominate myself?
That would be unfair.
Do you wish me to take the voyage?
We have no right to ask it. You're retired. You have been ill.
Do you wish it, my lord?
Naturally.
Because if so, if you mean it, then I'll go.
Now, think carefully.
Oh, I have.
Oh, for your own sake, don't be hasty.
No, if you really need me, then I'll accept command.
Surely, my friend.
Yes?
James, you're quite certain?
Yes, I'm certain.
Final voyage? Finish the job?
Aye.
Good. Then with great humility, we accept your offer. His Majesty will be delighted. Gentlemen, I give you Captain James Cook.
Captain James Cook.
A remarkable evening, James. An eventful one.
When will you sail?
Oh, next April. That should be time enough.
Whatever you wish will be done. Your choice of ships and men.
And my post at Greenwich when I return. And a secured future for my family.
I guarantee it. The news will thrill all London.
Not all. Oblige me and keep the matter private for the present.
Until when?
Until I can find the courage to break the news to my wife.
Oh, certainly.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. Bravo. Bravo. Congratulations. I planted two such bushes in soft soil here.
Joseph.
James,
I've noticed
my dear friend.
enjoy the sunshine.
Come in. I have something to show you. Observe our humble red brush tree, transported from Botany Bay. Henceforth known, I'm delighted to say, as Banksia serrata. Well, is what I hear true?
What do you hear?
That you have accepted command of a new voyage? 2 ships and a purse of £20,000 to find the Northwest Passage. No, Lord Sandwich boasted he achieved what no one else in the kingdom could, and persuaded you.
Yes, well, his lordship gossips too readily.
Ah. I hoped it was not true.
Why?
Oh, because you've done enough. It's time to enjoy the rest of your life ashore. What does Elizabeth say?
Well, like you, she will no doubt disapprove.
She does not yet know.
Any announcement was to have waited until I acquaint her with my decision.
Then it should be soon. I doubt if such news can be kept secret. Not for long.
No. I was merely awaiting the right moment.
Oh, rather you than me.
I dare say you have no advice on how to impart such information.
None whatsoever.
No, I thought not. want the braces attended to. And the clues also.
Captain.
It's simply done. 1, 2, 3, lift! Over here, lad.
So, you're back?
Yes.
Put him up, lad.
Aye. Come below. Let's talk.
Well, lads, you move on.
Well, there's a great deal to be done. Extensive repairs, and not many months before we sail.
I'm honoured you asked for me, sir.
It won't be easy to have the ship made ready. The Navy yards are full, all making a fat profit from the war with the Americans.
Captain.
I heard what you said.
It's not been easy being an American in the King's Navy the past few years.
I can imagine.
So I'm grateful you chose me.
I choose my officers for their seamanship, not for any other reason. Kindly understand that.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can start to raise a crew, Mr. Gore. I'm commanded to other duties.
What duty, sir?
I'm ordered to have a portrait painted. The renowned Mr. Nathaniel Dance wishes my attendance in the apartments of the Royal Hospital at Greenwich. If you require me, I shall be sitting and suffering there.
Don't turn your head, sir. Kindly remain still.
I'm trying to remain still. I need to know what Mr. Goodell thinks of my journal.
You need to hold your head at the required angle, sir. His Majesty the King and Mr. Banks have commissioned your portrait.
I'm aware of it, Mr. Dance. Can Mr. Goodell comment on my writing?
If it doesn't turn your head.
Well, indeed it may. I'm greatly impressed. We shall publish this work, Captain.
As it stands?
Certainly, as it stands.
Oh.
Don't alter your expression, Captain.
Oh, Mr. Dance, did you hear what he said?
He intends to publish.
As it stands?
Your head, sir?
I beg your pardon.
Now, we'll have further meetings before your departure, Captain.
I'm greatly obliged to you, Mr. Goodell. Dear. You know the celebrated painter, Mr. Dance?
Indeed.
Madam?
Forgive the interruption, Mr. Dance. My husband is so occupied of late, I rarely see him. Tell me, James, and please, don't lie. Am I the last, the very last in all London to know?
Well, if you won't forgive me, I can hardly blame you. But I did try to tell you. I tried a number of times, and each day and each week it became more difficult.
I dare say it amused the Admiralty. Cook is going on another of his 3-year voyages, and he hasn't yet remembered to tell his wife.
Whatever you say is justified.
Whatever I say is wasted. We talked this over, you and I. We agreed 2 long absences were enough. You gave me a promise there would be no more.
Yes, I did. Oh, I regret that.
You think I would have welcomed this child if I'd known? The truth is, family life is not enough for you. It never has been.
That isn't so.
Why turn your back on me and our sons and all the things you've wanted all your life? Being secure and known and recognized wherever you go. You did want those things, James.
Yes. Always.
And now they're yours. And they're not enough. If I'm to have any peace, I have to know why. You must tell me.
I'm afraid. Afraid that nothing will last. That fame is just an illusion. History will find me lacking.
I don't want to be derided in years to come as the man who accomplished nothing.
But dear God, you spent your whole life accomplishing things.
Negative things. Disproving mythical continents. Mapping the Pacific, knowing that the Dutch, the Spanish, the Portuguese, they're all there before me, even New South Wales. Dampier discovered it first. If I find the Northwest Passage, that would set the seal. It would finish the job. Be my epitaph.